I think my guests have come, so please welcome Mr. Alain Debar, partner and head of investment and asset management of AGS, and he will facilitate the interview. Hello. Yeah, so I give you the floor, and you have to interview Mr. Raúl González, CEO of Barcelo Hotel Group. Do you want the mic or my microphone? Yeah, I give you yours.
Comment?
Vous en voulez un comme ça?
Non, ça va.
Bon, super. Sinon, vous en avez un là.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this exciting event hosted by Smith today, and to this fire chat with Raúl González. So thank you, Raúl, for joining us today. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce a visionary leader in global hospitality industry. Under Raúl's leadership, Barcelo has grown to over 260 properties in 22 countries. But Raúl is more than just a CEO. So he's a strategist, he's a change maker, so he's going to take us through his commitments of forging partnership, exploring new markets, and a little bit on his initiative on sustainability. Today we'll discuss Africa, in particular Morocco, obviously, what opportunities lie ahead, and how Barcelo is looking at the next 10 years for its growth in the region. Please help me to welcome Raúl. Thank you very much. So thanks, Raúl, for joining us again. Maybe let's start with expansion in Africa, and please talk to us about your plans for Barcelo, your current plans and your upcoming projects in Africa, and how do these projects align with the overall strategy of Barcelo?
Hello, good afternoon to everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. Be careful with expectations. I try to understand a little bit about the hospitality industry, no more than that, okay? Look, I think that Barcelo started in the hotel activity in the beginning of the 60s with one hotel in Mallorca. And the group grew at that time in the Balearic Islands. Later on, we moved to Benidorm, I can say that probably big town with tall buildings in Levante, in Spain. And the following moment was to go to Punta Cana, to Bávaro, more than 40 years ago. Now Punta Cana is the most important destination in all the Caribbean. But Barcelo was the pioneer in the region. That means that we started in Europe, we moved to the Americas, to the Caribbean. At the beginning, the idea was to try to compensate our activity during the summertime in Spain and try to have a high season in the winter in the Caribbean. But later on, the Caribbean had been all year around, not only during the winter. We have a high occupancy level all the year. And during the last 20 years, we had tried to grow in Africa, and in particular in Morocco. Why Morocco? Because we believe that it's a country that is growing a lot in the tourist sector. The figures are there, it's not any strange information, but at the same time, we think that can be the gate for growing in Africa. We arrived in 2002, I think that we arrived in Casablanca. We bought the hotel that we started with Fadesa, a real estate company, a Spanish real estate company. We bought the hotel, and we have now hotels in, like probably we have three properties in Casablanca, one property in Rabat, one in Fez, in Agadir, in Marrakech, in Tanger. That means that we are growing in the country. Probably, I think that we are the main investors in the country at the moment in the hospitality industry, but we want to invest more. And the idea is to reposition the properties, try to increase the level of quality of the properties. We have just closed the hotel not far away from here in Casablanca, the ex-Farah Hotel. And the idea is to invest close to 50 million in the renovation process. And the idea is to do the same in Rabat. That means that we trust a lot in the country. We have also hotels, we are operating hotels in Tunisia, in Egypt, in Cape Verde. We have a big plot of land in Zanzibar, in Tanzania. And the idea is to grow step by step, because we are a family business. We are very conservative in financial terms. Imagine that the group owns more than 20,000 rooms, and we don't have debt in the balance sheet. We have cash positive in the balance sheet. That is not very normal after COVID, but we are very conservative. We want to grow, but at the same time, we are a family business, no?
I mean, obviously, you've seen the early potential in the market. You came in early, so you're quite ahead of the curve. What role do you look at, partnerships? How important are partnerships to you? And under what model are you going to develop in the future? Joint ventures, direct investments, management agreements?
It's a clear question with a not very clear answer, okay? We are ready to buy. We are ready to lease. We are ready to sign management contracts. At the moment, the unique kind of contract that we don't want to sign is franchise, because we want to maintain the control of the standards of the brand, and we are ready to other kind of agreements. We are signing JVs with local partners. Probably Morocco at the beginning, we need more than now partners, local partners. Now, after this development, probably is not so important. But still, we are talking with local partners because we want to leverage. We don't have enough money to grow so fast that we want. That means that we are ready for buy hotels, for leases, for management, and for GBs.
Have you already actually invested in Morocco yourselves, or as Barcelo Group, or not yet?
Yeah. No,
I mean, directly, you own some of them.
Yeah. In the country, we have several hotels that we are owners. More or less 50% of the portfolio that we operate in Morocco, we are 100% owners of the hotels. We have another couple of properties that we have partners, and we maintain the ownership, but partially. And we have other hotels that are leases and other hotels that are management contracts.
Okay. And when you're developing, you see more opportunities in conversions or in new builds? And what are the key challenges that you're seeing when you're developing? Because obviously you're not from here. You've put in your own balance sheet. So what made you so comfortable to invest here?
In global terms, we see more potential in reconversion, because the construction is so high that it's not easy to build a new building. But I think here in Morocco, depends. I think that in the cities probably make more sense to try to buy an existing property and to do the renovation. In leisure, can be both. Can be to buy a plot of land and to build. For instance, in Marrakesh, we bought an hotel in the Palmeraie, and we are doing the renovation, but at the same time, a development of new rooms. And the idea is to increase more or less 25 to 30% the capacity of the hotel. That means it's a combination between renovation and new development. But we use the same facilities of the hotel, and the return on investment is clearly higher.
Okay. Maybe going a bit more into hotels. Tell us about the tourism trends you're seeing, and who are your clients? Because you've got all those hotels. Are you just going into leisure? Are you going leisure and corporate? So who are you?
In worldwide, 70% of the people that travel is for leisure reasons, 30% for business reasons. For me, it's not easy to understand because I take every year more or less 200 flights, and I think 95% are for business reasons and 5% for leisure reasons. But the market in global terms, the people travel more for leisure reasons. That means that in our portfolio, we try to maintain more or less the same balance. 70% of the capacity of the company, we try that are more holiday-oriented, and 30% are business. But if you see the trend, and probably had been increased the trend with the COVID, the people mix the trips, and they travel for business reasons, and they stay a length of the stay a little bit longer for try to have some holidays.
All right. Interesting. And as a brand towards your customers, what really sets you apart, and what are you best known for, Barcelo? When it gets
for the Barcelo brand, or you want to explain a little bit the brands?
For the Barcelo brand, really understanding what you really stand for, what sets you apart from all the others, and how do you adapt to the local culture when you come, in countries such as Morocco, where there's, such a strong culture?
We have 4 brands. One, Royal Hathaway, that is more luxury brand. The idea is the hotel that we will open here in Casablanca will be a Royal Hathaway hotel. We have the Barcelo brand, we have Occidental, and we have Allegro. And for me, one of the big risks of our industry is globalization. If the people travel and see the same shops, the same restaurants, the same experience, for me the big question mark is why I must travel if I have the same experience. That means that for me, you can see very important brands that you don't know if you are in New York, in London, or in Casablanca. And I think that is a big risk for the tourist sector and for the brand. We try to be very local in all the things, in the decoration, in the gastronomy, in all the experience. Because I really believe that the hospitality business had been changing. 30, 40 years ago, an hotel was a place for sleeping. What do you need? A bed, a shower, a TV. During the last 20 years, we have been talking a lot about experiences. The hotel must give to you not only a place for sleeping, also experience. I think that in the following years, we'll see every year more that the people want an experience, and the hotel activity will be less important than before.
Right. Just before we move on to, before we get into sustainability and other matters, and before the time runs out, I had a few questions on finance. From an investment perspective, what sort of returns are you expecting in this market? Are you seeing in the market compared to other regions?
I think that our expectations overall is higher in this country and in this region than in Europe. And in Europe, depends if you are talking about a premium location, not only London or Paris, also Madrid, the yield of the investment can be 3%. Depends if it is a trophy asset or is a more 4-star or a budget hotel. But the yield in these countries is clearly lower than in these countries that are more emerging markets that they are growing. No? And our expectations is probably 300 or 400 basis points more than in other countries.
Are you saying 12%, 10%?
We expect more 10 10 to
Yeah,
12
exactly. You like
than
double
8 to
digits,
10.
right? Okay. And obviously, you've been investing a lot in Morocco. What incentives have you seen, and what support did you get, from the government? I know they're very active in supporting you and making you comfortable about investing here.
I have a very personal approach. I think that you must do the investment if you believe that makes sense. And if the decision is done, try to obtain the best benefits from all that you can. But if your decision is taken because you want to obtain some advantages or some support from the administration, I don't like this.
Okay. Yeah, but there's still, I think...
To be honest.
Yeah, still. Agreed. But obviously there is support out there. I think there might still be an image from investors who haven't come here yet in the market, that there's issues such as repatriation of funds, etc. Have you found it to be an issue? Or?
At the moment, we are not very worried about the repatriation because we are investing a lot in the country. Probably in 10 or 15 years can be a big issue, but at the moment, we are investing more money the cash flow that we are obtaining. No? But obviously, I want to say that I appreciate a lot all the support. It's not easy to find a country in the world that gives to you debt without any interest rate. Zero interest rate is not very frequent. But I think that must be an additional advantage, but not the main reason. No?
Okay. And, about now moving back into operations a little bit and about talent. How do you attract and retain talent? And do you have any imagined training programs programs where you're building the future leadership of Barcelo here in the region?
Yeah. I want to give you one thought. I think that you must take a look to the countries that had grew a lot during the last years. Spain had grew a lot very fast. And probably in a construction perspective, in a sustainability perspective, is not the best. We have many buildings that are very ugly and it's not the best that we want. I think you can have the same problem with the talent. Try to learn about the positive things and try to learn about what you must not do in any case. Talent in Europe at the moment is a big issue. We don't find the people that want to work in the hospitality industry. I think it's the most beautiful work. It's fantastic. I see any other sector of the economy, and the best and the most beautiful one is tourism. Is try to help to the people to be happy. It's the perfect job. But many people don't want to work in the hospitality industry. You still have people that love hospitality. You have your hospitality in your blood. Try to maintain. Spain 50 years ago was very kind with the people. Now, I think that we have lost a lot. Take care. It's very important. Look, I want to give you an example. The absenteeism that we have, the people that don't go to work every year, every day, is roughly more than 10% of the people. 10% of the people don't go to work every day. The ratio here in Morocco is less than 0.5%. That means that probably you have a better health system, probably, but it's crazy. Don't make any sense. Do you know what I mean?
But do you have any such things as management training programs and these type of things in place, or think about it?
Of course. I think that you must try to help to the people to progress, to learn, and you must try to give them training programs. But don't forget that the essential is that the people love their jobs.
Absolutely. And last but not least, something that is very close to your heart, sustainability. How are you implementing, the fundamental principles of Barcelo here in the region?
I think that we have in all Europe a lot of regulations. Is the number of papers that we must to do is amazing. Is now the new regulation, the new law, the CSRD regulation. We have more than 1,700 indicators that we must to give to the administration every year. I think that it's important that somebody push to the companies that try to be as good as we can with the environment. It's very important. But be careful with the bureaucracy. I think it's important that you have indicators that all the people must try to implement good policies, but be careful with the bureaucracy. We have our own system. We have been working in trying to create our own certificate, and we have in each hotel, if the hotel and the employees, the staff, do all the things that we have in our protocols, in our policies. But I think it's very important, because if we don't respect the environment, we will have a big issue. Our industry will be in a big problem, in a big troubles.
Maybe just a few closing remarks. What is your outlook for Morocco to 2030? And if you had one piece of advice for a new investor coming to the country? So two questions in one.
It's not easy. You know much more than I know your country. I have been visiting your country during the last 25 years, and I come frequently to the country. But I think that you have a big opportunity. I think that Morocco has a very important opportunity for the tourist sector. Try to maintain the hospitality in your heart, in the people, that the people love the industry. Don't say that when the people don't like to work, they come to work in the hospitality. For me, it's very funny. Look, I go in the plane, and the person that is helping to me in the plane is in a social atmosphere. It's like a very good job, no? Where you work in an airline company, and I fly. It's perfect. It's very, very nice, no? And I think, but which is the job of this person? Is a waiter? Is a receptionist? Is a housekeeping person? Probably is a lot of different jobs. But in Europe, you say, where you work, like a housekeeping manager. It's not so sexy like in an airline company. I don't know why. Because probably I think it's much more difficult and much more interest in the hotel, because you have more time to talk, to understand to the customer. In the airline, the contact with the customer is 10 seconds, no? But in the hotel, you have a lot of possibilities to have a relationship with the guest, no? And I think, for me, the most important is you have the hospitality in your blood. Please maintain this attitude.
Great. Thank you very much, Raoul, for sharing your vision. Yeah?
Thank you. Thank you, Raoul. Et merci, Alain. Thank you so much.